Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
The whole thing.
All right.
So here we go. This is game 4 of 5 tonight. This
Dire
beautiful
team
overlay.
ban.
It trips you out. So you sort of think it's lagging, like it's low FPS, but I think that's
Radiant team
I
ban.
think it's the style. I think it's intentional.
Sure. That sounds right. We'll go with that.
But it's weird. Okay, Doom and Enchantress, the first two banned out. What's up?
What is our NPR just banning? Exactly.
10 seconds remaining.
That's exactly what they're doing. And Singularity's like, well,
5
we're not giving
seconds
AUI the
remaining.
Enchantress, so that's taken out. I mean, what a world we live in. Doom and Enchantress, first two
Dire
bans
team
overall,
pick.
which is just okay. Let's do it. Right. It's like something you could get
10
cheesed by.
seconds
It's like
remaining.
maybe banning a Meepo 5th ban or something like that. Something sort of similar.
5.
Treant Protector.
Radiant team pick.
Right. Okay.
Radiant team pick.
Right. Yeah. And there might be a curveball already. Phoenix picked up in the first two overall for Singularity. And then on the other
10
side,
seconds
Brand P,
remaining.
the roaming Treant Protector, will come out. Still a pretty strong hero.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Mm. Right. That's interesting.
I mean, it's in their repertoire, right? We looked it up just moments ago. Kind of a forgotten about hero in some ways, but does set up for some cool team fight synergy. I mean, even Phoenix Tree is a combo that we've talked about before. But now Bat Rider. Well, okay,
Dire
my bad.
team pick.
My bad. Sorry, guys. I sense a Bat Rider. Fire on fire. That's the best way to deal with trees.
Oh.
Oh,
You're
but hey, you
Houdini.
think about it, AoE sticky, you know, can't auto attack
10
the egg as
seconds
fast, little
remaining.
synergy there, lay fire down all around it.
Boom.
5 seconds
All right.
remaining.
I'm into
like
it.
it.
I'm into it. So.
Reserve time.
Juggernaut.
Radiant team ban.
Right. Yeah, and multiple different roles too. I want to ask you, Andy, because
Dire
I've seen this a
team
lot
bat.
from the NA region, especially Demon has been picking it up a ton. But the 4-position Bat Rider, I don't think it'll be the case this game. But how do you feel about the 4-position Bat Rider in general?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just comes online a bit later, but you can still get those blink initiations. And also a good thing you could do too is if you can kind of just bait it out and say, okay, look, this Bat Rider's going 3-position, and then at the end pick up that offlaner, and your Bat Rider might have a better time. But anyway, speaking of offlaners.
Radiant team
Right.
ban.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely going to be looking for some damage for Singularity to follow up the lasso, you know, isolate somebody and then blow them up. Or living armor can save them. But a lot of
10
just
seconds
like
remaining.
damage over time, high instance, low damage type
Mm.
abilities to deal with living
5
armor.
seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yep. I
You know,
was
like Lena.
I was thinking that, and like Ursa is another one that might be pretty good. I thought Terribly was also solid because of Metamorphosis, but obviously that's been taken out. But I don't know about Ursa or not, or Lena for that matter.
Dire team ban.
Right.
Ten
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
All right. Next ban from Singularity. That's been pretty popular
5
recently in
seconds
the off
remaining.
lane. NP looking for ban as well. It is the Lone Druid, which
Radiant
is
team
Huh.
pick.
interesting ban, but again, it's just maybe something they didn't want to play against for NP.
Well, I think it.
Imba Spirit.
Dire team pick.
Right.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah.
It's also like historically very good against Juggernaut. I think one of those just go to like core versus core. He's got a lockdown that can stop him from just spin TP. Ember Spirit now 3 fire heroes for Singularity as they keep in motif.
Yeah.
Will we see Lena as the 4th?
Hot draft.
No, unlikely. Ember Spirit, their mid laner here, Bat probably in the off lane, so looking at a support and a safe laner, likely last 2 picks for them.
Mm-hmm.
As we see what NP wants to do, they'll probably
Radiant
settle on
team
something in a
pick.
moment.
And there's that disruptor against the Bat Rider that you were talking about, Andy. And pretty good against the Ember Spirit, too, with the Static Storm. Making sure he gets locked down as best as possible. Even against Phoenix, too, as well, when you think about it. Because of the dive and comes back.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
That would have been nuts, actually. So, yeah, very good ban.
good point.
But what else are we looking for? Probably, do you want some disable with your support? Well, they're going to pick Troll first. That's a
Dire
pretty high
team
damage hero.
They needed something beefy. A good way to burst somebody down. Lasso, you've got Battle Trance. Not that their team particularly synergizes that well with auto attack damage, but high damage, like you said, and just somebody that can be in the front line. Because that's certainly not
10
Ember, right?
seconds
All 3
remaining.
of these first picks from Singularity want to kind of jump in and out of
5
fights. They want to go
seconds
for
remaining.
pickoffs, but they don't want to just charge in and absorb some of that damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this. I think this is a
Reserve
good
time.
4th pick to kind of round out this draft a little bit.
Tide Hunter.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, that is a solid choice. Man.
I mean, how does Quap look for NP mid lane here? I mean, I do like the Tide. It's a nice bit of team fight.
10 seconds remaining.
No,
5
it's Singularity.
seconds
Yep.
remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, that's fair.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Just trying to think of
10
like who can
seconds
match up
remaining.
against the troll, but then also do okay in the lane against Ember.
5
What about
seconds remaining.
is
Like-
Puck okay? Like for control too, because they need some of that.
Oh, a Puck.
Dire
Now that's a
team
thought.
pick.
Yeah.
And it can scale okay against the troll, like Puck now, as we talked about earlier. It's like such a momentum hero once you get to level 25, even before that. You know, with like Dagon E-Blade style build, you can just burst down the troll.
10
Like
seconds
it's just too
remaining.
much damage.
Yeah.
Queen of
Oh,
Pain.
nice.
Radiant
Tough.
team pick.
Oila's driving Twitch chat crazy here. Undying is the final ban, also kind of interesting. Not one that we've seen too much, but yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a fan of the Quap here. I think it pairs nicely against the Ember, and she's hard to lock down. That was
10
kind of what I was
seconds
thinking.
remaining.
You know, she can get that momentum. Maybe I'm also just biased because we just saw that
5
epic Queen of Pain
seconds
performance
remaining.
in the
Yeah,
last
that-
match where she went 16-0, 18. It was, I don't know, made the hero look good.
Reserve
Yeah, I
time.
don't. As good as Fata is, I don't know if he can have the same performance as SCCC did. I mean, there's a possibility, but what do you think? Like, you do have to deal with Lasso potentially and all this lockdown and kind of control, sort of from Singularity. I mean, what do you build on this Quap? Do you still go
10
Veil first,
seconds
maybe like a
remaining.
Lincoln Sphere or something?
5.
Hmm. Yep. And that's what
10
actually happened 2
seconds
games ago
remaining.
with when on the Warriors Gaming Unity Disruptor. He just got run at. He didn't have
5
boots until like,
seconds
I don't know,
remaining.
6 minutes or something like that. He got killed 3 or 4 times. That was a aggro tri-lane versus a defensive tri-lane, and it did not look like a very good defensive tri-lane. The Disruptor could not do anything. The Luna they had didn't get any farm. It was like Chen, Sand King, and
I don't know, man. I want to believe in the Singularity draft, but I think NP's team fight is just going to prove too much. Sort of like how we saw the Black Hole Sonic Waves constantly. I think we'll see that coordination out of NP where it'll be Ravage Sonic Wave. We're not just going to see these defensive Ravages here and there. They're going to have coordinated team fights. And I also agree. I think it'll come down a lot to the Disruptor. For Singularity to take this, I think a lot of things need to go right.
yeah, that's definitely true. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. Singularity, of course, the underdogs here in this game. NP coming off of a 3rd place finish at their last LAN. Look with a 1st place finish, and we'll see if they can get off to a strong start here against Singularity. We're into game number 1. Of course, this is our 4th of 5 games total. So make sure you guys strap in. We're not done yet. We've got 2 more games to go. We'll see how it turns out. As far as this game, NP versus Singularity, already some interesting landing coming out, some interesting wards being placed down. But the way the lanes are shaping up right now, where is Envy's heading top alone, but we'll see what the lanes are. The thing I'm interested in, actually, Andy, is going to be Singularity's lanes. Are they going to go for those dual lanes? Will they go for a defensive tri-lane? What are they going to do in terms of their laning phase?
I thought that they might just send the Bane top, because if you send the Bane top, like 1 of 2 things happens. Either Aoi goes up there to try to help, because I think that Pylai Dai will be extremely pressured in that situation, or they kind of just let Aoi run around, maybe try to pressure mid a bit to give Fata the advantage, and then maybe their top lane suffers a little bit. But right now it's a little bit too early to tell what the Singularity wants to do. Only thing that we're seeing is just the typical, you know, Pato's sitting behind the trees up in top lane. He's just going to pull the creeps out. Should be pretty safe doing it in this game. Level 1 Disruptor is not really too scary. And Aoi's on the opposite side of the map, so looks like some pretty stock standard stuff so far.
Yeah. There's going to be NP starting out bottom. So MP, of course, they're going to sit down here with AUI 2000 Pylai. We'll see if they can't find perhaps a kill or two, maybe K-Core. We'll see. Already MSS blocking the wave. And here we go. Can they find anybody? They're going to go Exotic Deer. They've got the Thunderstrike to come out. The Leech Seed has been used as well. He's going to head into the tree line. The Icarus Dive will come through. The movement slow coming out. And they can still probably get the skill. They even use Gush. They've committed a lot here, but they should still be able to get it. Exotic Deer, one more auto attack. It's actually Pylai Die that gets it with the second Thunderstrike from the Disruptor.
Yeah, it's like Phoenix can't do anything in that situation. Like, I guess the best thing would be to level Laser at level 1, but that just seems like really not enough to keep him alive through that sort of damage. And a very unexpected gank as well. You can see like Pylai Die immediately TPs away too to help out Fata mid.
Yeah, I mean, K-Core used Icarus Dive, didn't do much. I mean, already taking a lot of Hammer Fist from AUI. He walks up and he takes so much damage. The Leech Seed coming out as well, getting him very low. He only has one more Tango left, K-Core. This is already a rough lane for him. Meanwhile, mid lane, Thunderstrike coming out. Elisa getting caught. There's going to be the Shadow Strike as well. They need one more auto attack, perhaps. Looks like he might be okay, but the Deny comes out at the end. Nisha will get it done. So, yes, they lose their Bane, but at least the Deny comes in from the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, but if you look at the way the lanes are going to shape up, I don't think that Singularity really has an answer to Aoi being in the bottom lane. Like, K-Core is a level 1 Phoenix, so if the Troll's getting ran at and just getting hit, he offers no counterplay. This is what I was mentioning about the early laning phase of the Phoenix being extremely weak. He just can't help him, so he has to pull, he has to get levels, and by doing that, he's pretty much forcing Exotic Deer into the situation where he's going to have to tank creeps under the tower, and he's pretty much going to get very, very low.
Mid lane, Searing Chains, Fairy Fire, Blink, Brain Sap, not enough. Fata just with enough HP and a great Fairy Fire to come through. He will have to head back home, but that is a good attempt coming in from Singularity. And I was going to ask, what is the chances Elisa heads down bottom to help out against this Treant Protector, or will he even be able to do anything down there, even with K-Core involved?
I just don't feel like they have damage to kill anything. So without like the potential of killing, even the Bane being there, I don't really think accomplishes a lot. Like, sure, maybe Exotic Deer farms a little bit more. But then you're tri-laning, you're not really going to be zoning MSS and Aoi at the same time because they're two extremely tanky heroes against very low early game damage supports. So I'm looking at this and I'm kind of thinking to myself, they just need to try to get whatever levels they can on the Bane and the Phoenix and try to get, I guess, 6 as soon as humanly possible and, you know, hope that Nisha can rotate around and maybe turn this a bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He is getting good farm mid lane. Fata was forced back, now up to 10 last hits to 25. So that Bane being in that mid lane has done a lot for them, even though he had to get denied earlier on in this game. And then, of course, there's the top lane for Envy, who is sitting at 18 last hits currently, so he's doing pretty well. Free farm, essentially. You know, the Batrider's not getting... I mean, he's getting a fair bit. He's not really getting shut down or anything. He has 9 last hits, but MSS down bottom has a bit more.
Yeah, it's to be expected, though. I mean, they did pretty much start tri-lane first blooding the Troll, so you kind of have to assume that he's going to have at least a little bit of a farm advantage. The crazy thing is, like you mentioned, the mid advantage is huge for the Ember. The thing is, you kind of want a level advantage, too, because if you can hit 6 really, really fast, you can actually kill the Queen. It looks like they're going to be pressuring Nisha here.
Leech Seed, Nightmare was used on AUI, and Fata did not have Blink ready, so he couldn't go for the kill. Good attempt. We'll push back Nisha for the time being, but he has 2 bottle charges and able to regen up. Meantime, they will get the bounty runes coming out, and it is a regen rune for Nisha. Oh, he's so happy about that.
Oh, baby. That's what you want to see as a mid player. Especially right after a support rotates to harass you. That's like the best feeling in the entire world. Walking back to your lane with a regen, then the enemy mid clicks you, and he's just tilted immediately.
He's so sad. Fata's just like, Fata walks back home. He's already sad because he has to walk home. And he's even more sad now because he sees that regen rune. He's like, damn it. Oh, well. Still, he might be able to come back later on into the game. Sort of closing the gap a little bit with the CS advantage, but again, him being gone, a bit problematic. But also starting to get some farm is going to be Exotic Deer. They rotated AUI 2000 out of that bottom lane into the mid lane. They said, okay, we shut down the Troll enough for now. MSS is doing fine. He's got levels. He's starting to get some good farm for this Tidehunter. And they really want to put pressure on Nisha and help Fat get farm.
Yeah, it's a good place, I think, for them to be right now, because that's the lane with the highest kill potential. Normally, you look at a Queen of Pain and you say to yourself, okay, this hero probably won't die. But if they get a good Nightmare setup, and Nisha's level 6, and he can hit the Searing Chains on him into 3 Remnants, they can definitely kill Fata.
Yep.
So by being in this area, they pretty much are ensuring that the most important, like, impactful hero during the mid game is not going to be killed.
Yeah. But they do rotate elsewhere. They drop a ward in the meantime over towards this top shrine area. Fata still under the towers. Nisha being pretty aggressive, throwing out the steering chains and missing. So lucky enough for Fata. They kind of leave him on island for right now as they're trying to maybe gank the Bat Rider. We'll see if they can't find this. They're going to jump in. Omni Slash coming through the Blade Fury kinetic field. Can they get him? It looks like Patos might be able to get away, but there is going to be that root from the Nature's guys along with Elite Seed to secure the kill for AUI 2000. Rotating up also is going to be the Bane. Keeping up there. He's already, he hasn't used Brain Sap yet. Will do a lot of damage to Envy. He has the Healing Ward. He's going to drop it down. The Thunderstrike now as well. Paladai out of mana and only one stick charge. And Elisa, they've got the TP coming back in from the Bat Rider. I don't believe they can get this kill on the Bane as Patos is rotated in, and Envy needs to be careful with the Healing Ward as well.
Nice little play there from Aoi, good positioning. They have the deep ward by the shrine, so they knew which way the Bat Rider was running. Otherwise, that kill would have been a lot harder to get. But now that the Ember is 6, I actually think that a lot of the emphasis on this game is going to be on him. Because obviously the Bat Rider is not anywhere close to Blink right now. Pathos is level 5, which level-wise he's doing okay, but he really needs to start to get a little bit of farm so he can actually start to influence the map. But Ember is like the only setup right now for their kills.
Yeah. They could find that, a Brain Sap on top. Perhaps a laser from the Phoenix for K-Core, but he actually has 2 points of Fire Spirits. That'll be pretty good as well. And then Exotic Deer down bottom again. Pretty low on farm. Just got a Ring of Regen, trying to get to phase now. And do they have Flips back? They do. It's level 1. Here comes the Leech Seed, and Nisha is going to be able to survive. He also has a DD. Icarus dive in. The sleep is up on AUI 2000, taking some damage. Should be okay, though. Going to try to get out. Elisa has a Brain Step at level 2. He'll turn into Pylai Die instead. Here we go. Remnant 4 looking for this kill. Sonic Wave coming out, doing some nice work. Nisha almost going down to the tower. Can AUI find him? He's in the tree line. The last auto attack gets the job done. And Fata will find Elisa on the back lines as well. What a turnaround. A huge kill for AUI. And Fata getting on the board as well.
God, that was a huge Sonic Wave. He did 2,100 damage in that fight at 7 minutes. That is, like, probably one of the best early Sonic Waves I think I've ever seen. That was super, super nice. Yeah. But yeah, you can tell that Singularity, they want to try to push the tempo a little bit around the Ember. So they're, like, playing super aggressive, trying to get kills, you know, buying time for Exotic Deer, buying time for Pathos as well to try to get some money to get that Blink Dagger. But it's very difficult when NP are prepared. Like, they had heroes in force there to fight that.
There we go. Nisha trying to chase up the Fata. Searing Chains. Comes back. Remnant forward. Mistimes it, though. And now Fata blinks towards Nisha. He might die here because of this.
No. That was a misclick. That had to have been a misclick. Because that wasn't even a max range blink.
They are pinging on Pylai. They want him. That was amazing. They're going to lasso him up. Brain Stab him. Remnant forward. Pylai at least has the infused brain drop, but won't keep him alive for much longer as Nisha will find himself a double kill. And that'll be that.
But, yeah, that was a very unfortunate turn of events. But something that Singularity very much needed. You can see that, you know, Nisha is still top of the CS. He's got a couple of kills under his belt now, highest net worth by a couple hundred. I mean, this is the guy that you're looking at to really kind of push the tempo for the squad of Singularity for at least some time now.
Yeah, slowed down a little bit, but again, might give enough room for Pathos to start working on that Blink Dagger. Phase going to be done for Exotic Deer if he wants it. They were looking for a rotation bottom from NP. Envy's going to cut the wave, Blade Fury it up, and MSS and him will go to work on the tower. K-Core is going to come in with the Fire Spirits. Glyph is going to be down momentarily. He's going to use that Icarus dive and just go for a TP. He'd rather save his life than perhaps the tower. So I don't know if they're going to contest this now that he's gone. We'll see.
This is a very hard tower to fight into. You're fighting into Omni Ravage. I think that it's usually better for Singularity to just go for a trade in this situation, but this is another thing too about their team that's kind of rough. They really only have one hero that hits towers, and that's the Troll. And if the Troll is feeling pressured and he doesn't think that he can show on the map, and you're not like ready to move around to go for the counter pressure on NP's tier 1, then you just pretty much lose the tower and you get nothing out of it. So you need to like walk there as a team, because NP has to walk there as well, because otherwise if your TPs are down and the enemy team has TPs, then you can, you know, potentially get caught. So just a little bit of outmaneuvering there coming in from Team NP.
As you mentioned, the trade not great. They were looking for gank mid onto the Quap. They still don't have Fiend's Grip yet. He's getting close though. He actually just bought the Tome. That should be enough. Now down bottom, they're going to jump in the Omni Slash Blade Fury as well. They've got the Anchor Smash. Gush might have already been used. They'll get the kill with it. MSS is going to back away. Fairy Fire. TP's going to complete for Nisha. Does he really want to chase this? Thunderstrike to come in. No glimpse back. Just because, of course, it is an Ember Spirit. Envy going to get chased down. Drops the stick for a moment. And then uses the Fiend's Grip will come out. The Blade Fury is there. Might keep him alive. We'll see. Exotic Deer taking a lot of damage. Envy's going to face away. Here comes Keikor. Remnant through, and yes, he will fall. Or at least he should. Keikor will secure the kill. So Envy heading in opposite direction, being a bit aggressive and getting caught out for it.
Yeah, that was a bit overzealous, I suppose. But, you know, I still think that NP are in an okay position. They haven't really had a team fight where they've committed everything yet. And if you think about it, you know, Pylai Dai is level 3. It's almost 11 minutes into the game.
Wow.
So we haven't even seen the beginning of a Static Storm, and NP are still leading by a decent amount of gold at this stage. So I think as long as they don't give it anything away too crazy, they've also killed the safe lane tier 1, which I think is really, really good for them. If you take away the map from heroes that really need to get one core item like that before they have it, then you delay the blink timing, you have a lot more, an easier time basically getting the rest of the tier 1. So NP making the first moves, and unfortunately Envy getting caught. Pi could be in some trouble here too. No grip though.
Yeah, Nightmare. He really needs some levels. Brain Staff to come out. Icarus died. He does have the living armor. There's the kinetic field. It won't keep him alive, unfortunately. Keikor was inside the kinetic field, and so he will fall yet again. Continues to struggle. He's really just been stacking up top lane. Paige is going to get caught out. There's the overgrowth just on the edge. He will go for the TP. The leech seed to come through. One more auto attack, and it's too long. He can't make it out. Pechos is going to get caught. NP should turn this into a tier 1 tower in the meantime.
This is the problem, right? Is because NP are making these rotations, and sure, they lose some heroes in a little bit of unorthodox ways, but they're getting objectives. They're getting tier 1 towers. They have the Treant Protector as well, who's going to start skilling armor soon. Aoi went with the 2-1-0 build for obvious reasons, early kill potential and whatnot. But because Singularity are not able to apply any tower pressure at all, due to NP winning like top and bottom lane pretty hard, they can just delay the tree armor skill, and then they can just say, okay, we're going to fight around our ultimate. If you fight into us, it's going to be really tough because your back doesn't have a blink yet.
They're going to try. They are going to move in. Nisha, they do have Ravage available. Exotic Deer is going to walk up as well. Nightmare, Fiend's Grip, they want Envy. They might commit a Ravage here, but it looks already too late, and they're going to try to just back away instead. And they might lose more. MSS, they have the Rune of Defatsa. Sonic Wave will come through. He's got Ravage. Will he commit it? The Lasso comes out as well. And they're going to lose 3 heroes, it looks like. Not a great fight for NP, and MSS will not commit the Ravage. There's too much damage. They've already lost 2 of their big cores. He is tanky, but he should still fall here as the ranged rolling axes come out. A couple more auto attacks, and MSS is down. So finally, a big fight going the way of Singularity. And again, getting involved is Nisha. He needed to be a big impact, and he was there.
That was a really strange move from NP, because if you look at the map, you saw Aoi and Pi pretty much, you know, mid and bottom. They obviously want to get levels. So you want the Static Storm on the Disruptor to take team fights. And, you know, during that time, Pi got the Tome, he got his level 6, and now Static Storm is available. The nice thing about holding the Ravage there from MSS is that now NP will have every single one of their team fight utilities except for Sonic Wave. So they'll have the control for a very, very long time, actually. If the Ravage is good and the Overgrowth is good, then you pretty much win the fight for free at this stage, because no one has BKBs, no one has, like, Dispel or anything like that. So again, a little bit unfortunate that they lose some heroes. Singularity getting closer to the blink as well on the bat. So yeah, you know, if NP make any more moves like that, I think Singularity is, with a couple core items, they could actually bring themselves back in here. Yeah,
I mean, pretty much what it seems like is they're kind of costly deaths, but now they have all of their abilities up. And if they lose this next fight, especially if they commit Ravage, then it becomes a problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you lose a team fight with all of your level 6s with NP's draft, you got big issues.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, there is Supernova up now. We have Battle Trance available. I mean, Nisha is owning. He's got bots now. He is going to be going for the Maelstrom, so he is obviously going the Amplification build. What else? I mean, these Fiends group have done pretty well for Elisa. And I don't know if there's many ways to stop it other than like Overgrowth or a Static Storm or a Ravage.
Glimpse immediately cancels it. If you have the
that's true.
If you have the Vision, Glimpse is like the best skill in the game, pretty much, to cancel Fiend's Grip, because it's 1800 range at level 4. So if you see the Bane, he's not getting a Fiend's Grip. It's very, very annoying for him. I think they just picked it more so than anything to just help kind of push the lanes in their advantage, which did work. Like, it got Nisha ahead, and he's still ahead of Fata, if we're talking about just like sheer farm. So it did what it was supposed to do, but it's going to get more difficult, I think, for him to accomplish what he wants to in the fights.
Yeah, I mean, and Fata had, I don't want to say a terrible start. It wasn't a great start. They did get a kill or rather die, but they pulled that thought. Envy is going to get blasted up. Here comes the Remnant. He is so far, and he's going to go for a Blade Fury. He does have TP, but they have Fiend's Grip, so they can cancel it. He's thinking about using it. They would rather not have it. The Nightmare will come through. There's the Searing Chains. If they can get this kill without Fiend's Grip, it would be fantastic, and it looks like that will be the case. Wow, he was deep there, Envy.
He's been on Singularity's side of the map a lot this game. Like, we're talking behind tier 2s at like 10 minutes. He always seems to be the one who is dying in the fights. Like, even when they had the 3-man top, when they were pushing into the tier 2, he was still the one who died first. And I mean, I guess that's just because he's usually the one who's hitting the tower, because no one else really does it on MP.
Oh, there they go. Fiend's Grip. Ravage is going to get committed. They even use the Static Storm. That's all for the Bane, and now Peytos is coming in. The Supernova Stun is about to be there. AUI will be the only one, but he is in trouble. Overgrowth, there's the mech. Can they fight this coming in? They need Envy. He's coming in right now. Sonic Wave doing beautiful work. Exotic Deer looking for a TP. They missed the script, but the glimpse back is going to be there. They'll lose 2 on MP side, but they get the 3rd. But here comes Nisha. They want this kill on Fata. He might be able to make it away. Blink in 4. Omni Slash. Sleight of Fist coming out. He's low. They get the double for Envy, and now they're turning on Peytos as well. Can they grab this kill? Fata blinking back in. Peytos juking back towards his tier 1 tower where it used to be. Oh, they're still there, actually. The Gush will come through. Looking for more. Envy coming in. The Healing Ward is up. There's the Shadow Strike. Firefly trying to get up to the high ground, and that might be enough to get away. They want to take this tier 1 tower, and it's low. Can they grab it? Finally, they will get it. Now coming in is the Blade Fury. Peytos, Scream of Pain going in his way. He's got to be careful. Gush coming through as well. Envy zoning everybody else out on the other side of the fight, and Peytos should fall. One more auto attack.
Oh,
he
nice.
gets denied. He fireflies right over the creep camp, and he gets it. Now Elisa caught. There's going to be the huge ninja guys hit with the root coming through. Still more. Blade Fury coming back in, and another Thunder Strike. So many abilities being thrown out, and NP come through. They get the tier 1 tower, and they get plenty of kills as well.
Singularity just taking an ill-advised engagement, trying to defend their 2-1. They can clean up MSS.
No mana for Anchor Smash. Mech comes out. Sleight of Fist doesn't hit him. The Flame Guard will clean him up. Very close. And then on the other side, AUI is like, get me out. And he will make it away.
Yeah, I mean, they took a fight basically against NP, like one of their stronger power peaks that they're going to hit this game. They had Sonic Wave, Overgrowth, Static Storm, Omni Slash, Overgrowth, they had everything, right? So they fight into it. To be honest, the first part of the engagement didn't go that bad because K-Core was able to get his egg off before the Static Storm came out. So at first it looked like, yeah, okay, this isn't so bad because the Ravage didn't really turn on. They're going in again.
Oh, that is a dead highlight die. Although they do use Lasso, that is on Envy. He's going to Blade Fury away. Elisa does have Fiend's Grip, but he's diving for it. They really are going in. Elisa was committed there for a moment and a half. And they still don't have MSS. He has respawned now, but no Ravage. They really want this tier 1 tower. Nature's got to come through. Living Armor is up. Can they save this tower? It would be amazing if they could. Now they've got the root up onto Peytos, trying to find this kill. They will get the deny off, but they lose it. Now they're going to find another Nature's Guys hit. That'll be up onto the Nisha Ember Spirit, but he's able to get out in time. It looks like Gush to come through on top of it all. Glimpse back. Can they find this kill? He's going to be able to run it away immediately. And now Exotic Deer saying, get the hell out. The Icarus dive comes through, and they will not be able to find anybody else. It looks like Pylai died. Glimpse back in 6 seconds, but nobody there in time.
A really nice abusing the cooldowns of NP there. They managed to get out before the ultimates were up. So they, even though the tower got denied, you know, the tower is dead. Against a Treant Protector and how kind of back and forth the laning phase has been, getting a tower down in of itself is an accomplishment. Because, like I said, if you chip it, the tree is just going to heal it back up.
Yeah.
So you get the tower, it's a big thing. I mean, really, NP only have a 1,500 gold lead right now at 19 minutes. And this is a very, very team fight-oriented lineup on their side as well.
Now,
so I'm looking at...
Can they do anything? Well, the thing is, NP have their abilities back up too, though, so they could fight again if they want to. I don't know.
Right, but the bat also has Blink online. So if Singularity find a hero out of position and pick it off, like if they find the Disruptor or the, I guess, the Tree or the Queen, I guess, then you pretty much have a team fight where you're down a big ultimate. And when you're as reliant on ultimates as NP are right now, any pick is a big pick.
Yeah. Here we go. The Smoke of Deceit coming in from NP. Let's see if they can't find somebody. Exotic Deer might be the target if he's spotted out. There's an Observer Ward that we'll see Elisa TPing and then the Bat Rider as well. Elisa coming in looking for Fiend's Grip, but there's the Orchid. Fata might go for this. Maybe dive, perhaps. We'll see. He's thinking about it. Instead, he's going to blink a little bit towards the south to stay with the rest of his team. And now mass TPs coming in from Singularity.
Dire's
Looking
bottom
for a Nightmare. Elisa, the blink is there. Blink lasso. The Gush, though, can they turn this around? They need this kill on Pilot Die. Ravage coming in. Static Storm on top of it as well. Pachos will fall first. The Orchid is out onto Elisa on top of it. The Omni Slash inside the base. Can they get this kill? It's the Blade Fury that does the job. Here comes the Battle Trance, but not in time. NV. They've dropped the Healing Ward, the Overgrowth. I think they found Nisha on the other side. He's low. Scream of Pain. Nature's Guys hit Sleight of Fist, keeping him alive. One more auto attack, and the Gush to get the kill. 3 now down, and MP looking to put more pressure onto this Tier 2 tower, only losing Pili Die in that entirety of the fight.
It was just kind of a bad call to go on Pili Die there. I mean, you saw the opportunity and you think, okay, no Static Storm, the team fight will be a lot easier, which is true, but he didn't have the damage follow-up from his team to actually get kill. It was just a Bane. Like, a Bane can offer a Brain Sap, but you can't expect him to sit there and channel a Fiend's Grip when you're outnumbered that heavily from the side of NP. So, another tower claimed. Ultimate's being used to pretty good effect there. They get the kill on the Ember. They get the kill on the Bane as well. And NP are just going to walk away happy with that one.
And it felt like Nisha wasn't there until the end of the fight, and I think that's what you were talking about, that lack of damage sources. And also the big thing, too, is the Batrider not having a force. I mean, yeah, he just got the Blink Dagger, but when he gets that force tap, he can make those lassos happen a lot easier to force back, but...
Yeah,
so
that's why
tough.
I was saying, like, all the way back to the draft, you kind of want a hero that's going to be able to finish off the lasso target extremely fast. Now, late in the game, sure, Troll's going to dish out huge damage, and he could actually be that hero. But you have to get to that point. And now, again, abusing the cooldowns of NP, looking for a pick here.
Yeah, and they should be able to get it too, although MSS, the Kraken Shell, of course, helping out. Smash comes through. He is so tanky. The Supernova now committed. Static Storm not in time. Bata in trouble. Tripped to Remnant. They cannot get the kill with it. He is able to get out. The net comes through. MSS will finally fall, but again, they lose the Phoenix on the other side. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but looking for more. Overgrowth coming in. AUI 2000, Nightmare to... It's going to be 2 dead for NP and perhaps a 3rd. Here we go. Whirling Axis to come through, and that's the perfect fight for Singularity. Sure, they lost K-Core, but they did get 3 big kills, and they almost got Fata. If they get that, then it's huge.
That was a really, really fast movement from Singularity. You can tell that the team has a lot of experience playing against like cooldown-oriented lineups because as soon as they were all up, it was like immediate smoke, and they just walked straight to the other side of the map and just went for kills. So, like, the fact that they get that many is just a bonus, and now they can potentially walk top. They can threaten the tier 1. Let's see, cooldown-wise, Ravage will be up, but Overgrowth will not, and Static Storm will not. So there's actually a good chance that Singularity can get this tier 1.
Yeah.
And again, taking the towers off the map, really, really big. Opens up the map more for heroes like Batrider to be able to find the lasso target and like pull it out of position. Makes NP a little bit more scared to farm their own woods. Still a still Dota game on our hands.
Yeah, I think so. Singularity have, they've done a pretty good job keeping this game relatively close, not letting it getting out of control. Sure, they've lost some a tier 2 tower mid, but you're right. This tier 1 tower top lane is huge for them, and especially against a Treant Protector, they need to take it down quickly and in one fell swoop, and they should be able to here. We'll see. I mean, they have Tide Ravage, like you mentioned, but they don't have those other big abilities. So
I mean, I guess they have Sonic Wave and Omni. They have their damage ultimates. They just don't have the control of the Overgrowth and the Static Storm. So it's a little bit risky, but at the same time, if NP feels like they want to defend it, wow, they are actually super scared.
They are backing.
Bail. Yeah, they don't know for sure how many ultimates they have, so I guess they're playing it safer.
K-Core will live, and the Nightmare to follow up as well, and they should have 23 seconds, but they don't last either, Searing Chains. They should still be able to get this kill. I mean, they rotate everybody. He gets the Sonic Wave off. Did he kill K-Core with that? That's unbelievable.
That was really, really nice. I mean, unfortunate that he gets picked off, but I mean, that was 5 heroes. It's pretty much it.
I'll take that.
Not much you can do there. Just hope to take somebody with you, and that's exactly what he did. And again, this net worth lead for NP is not much. It is now down to almost 3K gold. And of course, Nisha is the big problem. 10,000 net worth. He has Yules, he has bots. He is now starting to pick up the Maelstrom, so he went pretty defensive getting that Yules first. Just trying to stay alive in some of these fights, but now he'll be able to dish up the damage as well.
Yeah, I like the Yules first in this game. It's very good against Overgrowth. It's really good against, like, if you are in the Static Storm, you can just Yules yourself to protect from being silent. So, very, very nice. It's kind of a hybrid defense and offensive item, speaking of offensive.
Yeah, he is going in, chasing. Everybody's back up from NP, but they're on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, of course, Exotic Gear's not there either. And AUI is actually chasing him down. Maybe they can get a solo kill here. It might not be easy. Also rotating over. Get a Pylite die. They're going to jump in. There's the Orchid. They need a kinetic field, perhaps. Got the Static Storm to come out with the Overgrowth. They do not have the damage to get this kill. And now the Gloom Stack. That'll be up on Anisha. Sleight Fist cannot dodge. The Remnant's not there in time either. But they might be able to find AUI out of this. Though, he looks like he has dodged that dust. So he's fine, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was worth a try. I bet he's regretting using that Sonic Wave now on the Phoenix. Probably would have been able to burst him hard enough if he actually had that one more spell. Because you would have like the bonus damage from the Orchid afterward as well. Maybe it would have been close actually, who knows.
Well,
the weird thing too is like staggering your ultimates like that if you're NP, it means that you're never really going to get to a stage where you have everything up at the same time. And that's kind of when you feel like you're at your strongest. So Static Storm is going to be off cooldown, Overgrowth's going to be off cooldown. They're only going to have 2 ultimates to throw here if they want to defend this. Well, technically,
it looks like Elise is dead. He was in deep, trying to get a ward down or two, and he'll die to the Soldern from the Orca Malevolence. Meantime, AUI is in the back lines looking to cancel any TP possible. I think they saw the Batrider at the tail end of this TP, so they couldn't get there in time. And everybody's stopping. Finally, can they take this Tier 1 tower? They've been banging at it all day, but I'm not sure it's going to be defended this time. They are TPing up the Tidehunter. Nisha's coming in. It's actually the Treant Protector, and they look pretty similar. That's the Tidehunter. And they defend this. Just coming out. Here comes Nisha trying to finish it off, and will. But if this here change, the Overgrowth will follow up, but they can't do anything about this. They kind of just have to hope to leave. MSS doesn't have the damage, nor does AUI 2000. He's just going to remnant himself away. In the meantime, they're going to find Pylite again. Throws down the Static Storm, trying to get this kill on stage 4. Cannot find it. Trying to keep himself alive. And again, another ultimate used there. And all that happens is he dies.
Yeah, they're getting split up a bit. He just got caught out warding, so that's going to get like immediately taken down. Elise is there with the D ward. They found
taking a lot of damage. There's the Nature's Guys. Ravage not being clean yet. Nisha might be in some trouble here. MSS not going to go for it. And they need another hero to get that kill. The Quap would probably be the best one. But
they might have actually been able to get it. I don't think they realized that he didn't have enough mana to Remnant.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Yule's costs a ton of mana. It's 175. And then going to Remnant costs 150. So if they Ravage, there's actually a chance they could have killed him, but it would have been very, very close.
Yeah. I think he might have still had Flame Guard on. I'm not sure. I don't know if that would have saved him.
Yeah, he had Flame Guard on. But I mean like the autos, because he was so low.
Yeah.
Like Ember.
I mean, especially Treant auto. Pretty good.
136 damage. There's the TP cancel. He's done that twice in a row, by the way. He did it the last boss and this one.
I mean, AUI is just being a nuisance right now, but this is what you want to do. Keep this Ember Spirit top lane. Another hero rotating it. It is going to be Pylite Die. The Remnant back. Can he make it away, though, is the question. AUI is chasing him down. The Glimpse will come back through. Can they find a Static Storm? It's down for 13 seconds. Remnant out. Again, if they had that Static Storm, maybe they can get this kill. AUI is chasing so fast. Overgrowth is not there in time. Oh, my lord. What a high-speed pursuit that was. Dear God.
Yeah, NP seems to be a little bit out of sorts this game. I mean, they're throwing out a lot of ultimates that aren't really doing much. Like, that's 2 Overgrowths in a row that pretty much have accomplished nothing. And, you know, he's canceling some bot usage, sure, but at the end of the day, Nisha doesn't really care that much about it. It's just so bad.
Envy again. Lasso up. The Battle Trance will fly. The Fiend Strip as well, and he has done so. Man. And now they're going to push Tier 1. They're going to even jump in on MSS. He, again, does have Ravage. Doesn't want to commit it when he's here alone. The Firefly will come through. They've already used Lasso, and it looks like MSS should fall, and he probably won't get the Ravage off either. So, that's 2 quick kills and a Tier 1 tower. All of a sudden, I think Singularity might have lead after this tower is going down here.
Yeah, they are doing an amazing job of pulling NP apart. Like, the last couple of engagements have been either they're outnumbering NP, or NP are having, like, suboptimal ult usage, which is resulting in, you know, giving Singularity all these openings to do whatever they want. Because if you're fighting a skirmish, you don't want to be playing against Singularity's team. They have very good small-scale fighting heroes, and they're not as ult-reliant as NP at all. Yeah. So whenever you don't have everything up at the same time, it's just very, very difficult. And when you have MSS get caught out like that, when he knows he doesn't have backup, Singularity are like, okay, Ravage us and walk away and waste the cooldown, or just die. And that's like your 2 options, and they're both bad options.
And that's been happening too with like Pylite Dive throwing those Static Storms. And you were talking about whenever all of those ultimates are up, and that's a lot of the time recently for NP. They've had Static Storm down, or they've had an Overgrowth down. It's been one ability or another not there for them when they need those kills. Like a Static Storm up onto that Ember Spirit top lane probably would have secured them a kill if they had it, but it was down.
Yeah, he panicked static when he was placing those wards. It's pretty unfortunate. I think there was actually 2 kills they missed because of stuff like that. Like, first Fata Sonic Wave to get the kill on Phoenix, which you could argue is fine because he didn't know that that was going to happen, and he also did get a kill. But the Static Storm from Pi was a bit worse because there was actually no chance he was going to get anything from that. So it's yeah, it's looking a little rough at the moment, but you know, fortunately for NP, everything is up at the same time. There is a fresh BKB on Fata as well. So killing him is going to be very, very difficult. And it looks like Singularity are just going to go for the dodge. They know that NP are pretty much going to be 5 bottom because their team should not be split up. And they're just going to go for the Roche.
This is smart too, getting that Aegis up against this team fight reliant lineup. It's just the first Roche, so no cheese yet. We'll see if they want to commit to a fight. AUI is going to walk over, but is it going to be in time? They might not even see it. They're going to blink in. Overgrowth will come through. They do know that this is happening. Can they get in there with the Ravage? They want to fight this. The Dust will come through. He's trying to fight it. They've get the Orchid off onto Peytos. Ravage not there yet. He sees Roche is low. Static Storm coming in. That'll be onto the Bane. Fatsa pops the BKB. Sonic Wave. Cancel the animation. In the meantime, Nisha gets the kill on Pylai and looking for more. Everybody TPing home because guess what? Envy is split pushing bottom. And he's going to Blade Fury. Meanwhile, the Nightmare back onto MSS here in the fight. He is a bit alone. Ravage committed. The Overgrowth. The Sonic Wave to fall off. That's what they were looking for. They'll grab one. Can they get more? Here comes the lasso. The Remnant through. And somehow Singularity are turning it around. Meanwhile, Envy is back at the base. They're all forced to TP. He's put some pressure on the range racks, but they could sure use him with that Omni Slash. Peytos chasing down AUI 2000. Or is it him who's being chased? The Urn going through, the Anchor Smash to fall. There's that Nature's Guys hit. Again, Kraken Shell doing some work for MSS. He's also got that Anchor Smash to help out. Now they're coming back in. The route, they will find this kill as the Searing Chain's coming from Nisha.
Oh, this could be so bad for NP. They have no ultimates and NV's super low right now.
He has no healing ward or mana for that matter. He needs to get out.
This could have backfired so hard.
They do not have Ravage. Buyback coming in from the Tramp Protector. He doesn't have Overgrowth for 8 seconds pretty soon. 24 for Pylai. If they can hold off, they might be able to take this fight. And Nisha is so tough to deal with. He wants Envy coming in, Searing Cage, Blade Fury coming out. The Nature's Guys hit coming through. They have the kinetic field on top of it as well. The Remnant comes out and they get the kill on Pylai. Nisha is owning a mega kill spree coming in for him. Singularity are going to head back into the Roche pit and try to take this down.
Jesus. I know why Envy stayed bottom, and if that had worked, it would have been a huge play, because it would have basically meant that they fought off the Roshan attempt 4v5. Maybe they didn't think they needed to commit every single hero to stop that Roshan. But the problem is Singularity got back there too fast, and instead of TPing to base, Envy TP'd to the Shrine, and the Shrine wasn't up. So he didn't get any mana back, which means he couldn't fight, and every single ultimate that his team had pretty much had been used at that point. So they couldn't even stay in the Roshan pit long enough to finish it off. I mean, they do get the tier 3 and about half of the damage on the racks, but if the next team fight goes favorably for Singularity, they have a Troll Warlord. They're going to be able to walk down lanes and take objectives very, very quickly. So now it's kind of that scary point in the game where even though you have this huge team fight potential from NP, now you're worried about a BKB Troll with, you know, a 10-second BKB Troll, I should say, with an Aegis. Like, this is starting to get to scary territory, and, you know, Singularity have a bit of a gold lead, but it's not... Like, gold lead is not really indicative of how the game's going, I feel, for NP's type of lineup, because you saw, if they line up the ultis, then everything should pretty much be okay. But that's not going to be that way forever. The more items that come out on Singularity, the more they're going to be able to deal with that team fight potential. So, yeah, a little bit of a, I guess, a miscalculation there from NP.
Yeah, I think so as well. But again, they do get the tier 3 out of it. They might find Elisa as well. He's going to try to deny himself. Will not be successful as the Sonic Wave comes out from Fata. Meanwhile, Exotic here is rotating up as well. Nisha is coming in. Pops the Mjolnir Static Shield. MSS trying to leave. A very tough hero to take down. They want somebody else. Pylai is in the tree line, and he is able to TP out. It looks like they will not find him. Already split pushing bottom is both AUI 2000 and Envy. They will send the Manta Illusions in, knowing that now Singularity are missing from the map, and they will back up. So I guess this is what they can do now for MP, is just kind of hold out in terms of this Aegis and split push bottom as best as they can.
Yeah, the nice thing about having Queen in this type of lineup for NP is that you kind of turn into a split pusher. You're going to have the Lincolns, you're going to have the BKB, and then later on, you know, you want to build like one right-click item most of the time on Queen. Sometimes it's like AC or Bloodthorn or whatever. But it can turn into a game where NP have some split push options, because they have two heroes that are pretty hard to hunt down on their own. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Envy go back for like a Lincolns of his own and potentially like a Blink Dagger or something, just to be a bit more elusive. But I don't know, it's it's still looking like Singularity have a really good opportunity to take this game.
All right, here we go. Orchid coming out. Nisha, Yule Scepter up, trying to keep himself alive. Mjolnir Static Shield. They actually get the Nightmare off on MSS. Here comes the Static Storm. He walked out. He walks out of the kinetic field. He's still alive, and he's just fine. Pylai is now down, and K-Core coming in. Supernova is ready. He might pop it. The Ravage comes through. They get the kill. Can they get Exotic Deer? It's the Aegis down, and that's it. But it is going to be 3 dead for now. Pressing back up. That'll be Exotic Deer. Going to try to turn this. Pops the BKB, but there's the Overgrowth. Nisha needs to help out. They're auto-attacking down. The Nature's guys, they're kiting him so well. They're keeping him pinned down. They get the kill. Death for 73. That is the fight they're looking for. Beautiful stuff from NP. They only lose Pylai at the end of the day.
Yeah, they isolated the troll very, very well. And even though Nisha played that fight probably as good as you could have asked him to, he just ran out of mana. Like, he didn't have anything left in the tank after he got out of the Static Storm and basically got the kill on the Disruptor. So after that point, he pretty much had to just back out. I mean, now all the ultimates are down though from NP. They are going to give you a little bit of a range racks.
Cliff comes through, Blade Fury spin. They have Lasso, they're going to use it. They're going to drag him all the way in. Coming back in is the Bane. Bean's Grip is not available. They will Nightmare him though. Nisha, he's the one that can do all the damage. Can they get Envy out? Limb's coming back in onto Nisha, and it looks like Envy will in fact fall. So yeah, they get the range backs. They will lose Envy, but again, they win that team fight. MSS TPing in the meantime. Patos can't find him. And NP looks like they should be able to make it away with the exception of Envy. So back and forth we go, Andy.
Yeah, this is a lot closer than I would have expected. I mean, it's much to a good surprise, though. Oh, no, that's a gem. That's a gem. Oh, God.
That's not good. That is not good. Laser coming out. AUI gets Patos. Here we go, though. Nisha trying to chase AUI down, and they'll give him back. The gem's right back in their hands. So safe and sound.
That would have been huge, actually, for NP to take that gem, because unlike most heroes, gem is a nuisance, but on Batrider, it's like incredibly annoying because he has his own form of flying vision, so he can just deward everything super easily, and most of the time he's kind of hard to catch out. So once he gets his BKB, it's going to be even more so, and then he can like get the free initiation. He can find the tree if he wants and just pull the tree out, and then he's just dead because the BKB bat can't be glimpsed, obviously. So yeah, it's still kind of scary for NP.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult for AUI 2000. Bottom lane, Nisha going on Fata. I thought he was getting gone on. Boom stack, Static Storm is available, but not using it yet. Nisha's pretty damn speedy with bots and Yule Scepter, let me tell you.
I need another glimpse, though.
Should be able to get out. Oh, Orchid, Yules. Can they set up for a Static Storm here? Yes, they can, and now he is in trouble. Envy coming in, he wants that Omni Slash. Can they get the kill without it? They certainly can. Fata pops the DD, and that's exactly what they wanted. Finally, Nisha taking down a mega kill spree. It goes to Pylai, but they get the kill nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like, he's the highest net worth in the game, so taking him out, obviously, like the best thing you could pretty much do at this stage, I guess, besides killing the troll, maybe. And, you know, we haven't really talked a whole lot about Exotic Deer, because, you know, it's a troll. He has a pretty straightforward game, but I do like the Manta. Against Tree, you're kind of forced into this itemization, because if you just have BKB, and then you get Overgrowth, you kind of just stand there, and you're like, well, I can't move, even though I'm BKB. So it's kind of like mandatory to buy these two items in conjunction. But the nice thing is, he's working his way towards that Silver Edge. That makes MSS a viable target to actually burst. And that's also a really, really big deal.
I mean,
they could actually just rack here.
Yeah, they're trying for it. They do not want to buy back on Nisha. That's the last thing they want to do. And, Envy doing his damnedest to try to Blade Fury this down. The auto attack's going in the meantime. The armor is up. Fata now going to work, and there's that buyback, and they might need to back away. NP are committed. Here comes the Orchid. It's on a range creep. That's not what they want. They get the last off. The bash is coming through. The Overgrowth. They need to get this Rax. The Fiend's Grip up. Envy somehow still alive, getting bashed up the Supernova. They can't get the Rax. They might need it back. Sonic Wave. Nisha. Ravage coming through. Can they get this kill? Sleight of Fist coming out. They get the Rax. What about Nisha? One more auto attack. The Shadow Strike. He'll go down. It's a dieback. The Static Storm covering it as well. Pastor is going to be in some trouble. If they find this kill, at least they will get K-Core in the meantime. Rax and a dieback from Nisha, and Fox is still alive. Yes, they lost Envy, but they are starting to push their advantage here for NP.
Yeah, that pick off on the Ember was huge. It basically just resulted in them losing a Rax. I don't know, he didn't have a retreat remnant out bottom. That's very unorthodox. Like, he's very, very good at the hero. You can tell just by watching how he plays in the fights. But for whatever reason, he just had that one lapse in judgment, you know, not having the remnant out. And because he got opened on by an Orchid, did they actually kill MSS here? He's like super tanky.
That's the question, isn't it? They've said, oh, AUI's a better target. Go kill him.
Yeah.
See ya. Maybe
they might actually still get both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Whirling X go. He has Crack and Chill to help out, but this is going to be a pretty big run. They're going to try to turn this. They come in the Orchid. They want Elisa. Now Exotic Deer. The bash is up. Can they kill Fata? They're trying to turn this around. Fata getting low. Now blinking away. Scream of Pain misses. BKB comes out too late. Another bash. MSS. They're able to get out, but they won't get a kill themselves onto Elisa. They tried to, but the bashes were there from the Troll Warlord.
God, Tidehunter's actually so tanky. Like, he's only got Guardian Greaves and a Pipe at 40 minutes. That's not really like super farmed. I guess he's got the medallion as well. But my god, he actually just takes 0 damage. That's why they need the Silver Edge. Because if he becomes a target that you can actually lasso, and you get the Silver Edge on him during the lasso, that means you can't crack and you can actually kill him. That would be huge.
Yeah, you should have enough lockdown in that situation. But now, he's got a Solar Crest, so...
Oh god, and a Plate Mail? Okay, never
Evasion.
mind. He's literally never dying.
He's not dying anymore. That's it. He's good to go. Level 22, sitting at the 15th strength, 20 talent, and then we'll see what he gets for 25. I would assume it's the 20% cooldown reduction.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
It's like way too good.
Yeah. It's like, you get it on most heroes, like the Enigma CDR versus, what is it, the GPM talent, I believe?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Still go for that cooldown reduction. Uh-oh. Ooh. He was looking for that lasso. He couldn't quite find it. Now AUI blinking in with his own Blink Dagger ready to go. Gush coming out. That'll be on Exotic Deer. He does again have Manta and BKB, something to keep in mind. Kinetic Field to make sure NP can get out unscathed. In the meantime, Nisha is just split pushing and farming bottom, working on... He was working on... He still is. He actually has both that and the Radiance, I should say. The Octarine and the Radiance queued up, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I think they actually have some damage problems right now. Because again, the Troll's itemization, it's necessitated by NP's draft. So you've basically gone like 2 very heavily defensive items, 1 farming item in the Vlads, and now you're finally building into something that gives you some offensive potential. But it's 41 minutes into the game. I guess you could say to a certain degree that the tree is like, not necessarily a counter pick, but it's making him go suboptimal items. Like, Trolls don't want to build Manta style in most games. But in this game, he kind of has to. So in order to be able to deal damage and like live through the fights, that's kind of the build that the Ember has to go at this point, because he's committed to like this Mjolnir build with the Yules as well. It's very hard to go back and go for like a Battle Fury or something in a game like this. So you're in this position where you need to go for like these items and just hope that you live long enough to actually kill people.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's gonna be tough. BKB comes out. That was from Patos just to make sure he could.
Static? Storm?
Yeah, they used it. I heard it.
Yeah.
It just, yep, it's down.
Well, I mean, that's a nice little thing for Singularity. I mean, Roshan's up. The question is, how do they get a good engagement? I mean, Bat is considered like the king of Roshan because you can just fly over the pit and you get like vision of the other side of the map. You get a lasso target. But it's still quite difficult. So many abilities you have to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, they get a Roche fight win and Aegis and Cheese, and all of a sudden Singularity turn things around, but it's easier said than done with all the abilities up for NP. So there is that Silver Edge from the Troll Warlord, so we'll see how much that's going to help him out. And we haven't really seen a 5-on-5 team fight in a little bit. It was like down bottom, I think it was the last one. Here comes the smoke from NP. Octarine Core now done for Nisha. They're going to try to find some sort of initiation here.
Oh god, he's gonna remember it.
He glimpses it, rather, he remnants away. They cannot find the Orchid in time. He makes it out somehow. That was nuts.
So fast.
Yeah. He's playing out of his mind right now. He had the one mistake down bottom, perhaps, but other than that, Nisha's had a pretty fantastic game overall. Let's see if he can help out. They're heading towards Roche. The wraparound from Singularity. NP kind of maybe sense what's going on here. They blink up. Wards are down. Fata about to get jumped on. Kinetic Field will go. They know they're on the high ground there. Kinetic Field's still there. Nisha on his own high ground. But if this steering change, the Orchid will go. They need the follow-up, though, and MD trying to turn and fight him, but he's fine. Now they find the Beam Group. AUI is going to follow the Supernova as well. This could be good. They take down the egg at the very least, but what else can go on? Exotic here pops the BKB. They get off the Static Storm, but no follow-up. They have Ravage. They really want to wait for this BKB. They use it, and it just hits them somehow. The Omni Slash to go. The Gush is there. The Sonic Wave is on top of it, and they should get this kill. A double for Fata. He turns and gets the Bat Rider on top of it, and now Nisha is alone with little to no mana. In fact, he's out of it. The Shadow Strike, he dodges it. Can he get away? The Gush, the Scream of Pain. Fata gets the Ultra Kill. Beautifully done from NP. What a turnaround. MSS held the Ravage as long as he could, and it ends up hitting somehow.
That was like the most insane Ravage timing ever. I think the Ravage animation hit him as his BKB disappeared.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, that was incredible. That was such a good Ravage. But I think that yeah,
there it is.
It was showcased, like, the biggest issue that Singularity were running into. They just didn't have the damage to kill Tidehunter. Like, he had the Silver Edge for that fight. He applied right to MSS, and they, like, pop trolled. You know, they were going all in on him. I mean, obviously, they didn't have Team Script at that point because they used it to kill AUI, but without enough damage to kill MSS, they just lost the fight right there. If they killed him before the Silver Edge wears off and there was no Ravage, I think that maybe they could have at least ran or